Hi everyone, I've had so many of you ask what my skincare routine is this year in my total makeover year. So I'm going to give you two videos, one with my morning skincare routine and one with my evening skincare routine. So welcome to Ziggy's Zone, it's Ziggy here. If you really enjoy this video, please can I ask you to share it and also subscribe. Hit that little button down there that says subscribe and also give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it as well. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that I do in the morning, of course, is give myself a bit of a cleanse, and I use my Clarisonic. I use the normal brush head. Love my Clarisonic. And the cleanser that I use in the morning is usually the Paula's Choice Optimal Results Hydrating Cleanser. I really love this cleanser because it's so it's quite hydrating, and it certainly doesn't dry my skin out as some other cream cleansers have done. And my Clarisonic, I do one cycle on my face, and then I'll do my neck and across the top of my chest as well. I then go in, pat that all dry, of course. When that's done, splash it off, pat that dry, and then I go in with a toner, and I have to say this is the best toner that I've ever used. I love this toner. It's the Paula's Choice Resist Advanced Replenishing Toner, and it's unlike any other toner that I've ever used. This toner is very much, it's also quite nourishing. You know how some toners can be really drying and they can be quite stingy, especially if they're alcohol based or witch hazel based. This is neither. It doesn't have any alcohol in it. It doesn't have any fragrance in it. And it's actually almost a milky kind of formula, so it's really quite nourishing and hydrating on the skin. Now that's really lovely. I then follow that up with my AHAs, my alpha hydroxy acids. Now this is my normal daily one, which is 5%. I don't buy an alpha hydroxy acid from any manufacturer unless it gives me the percentage value, because I'm not going to spend an awful lot of money on an AHA product if it's got 1% in it, for instance. This is a 5% one, and I usually use this every day. Paula's Choice Resist Daily Smoothing Treatment for normal to dry skin. So this one is a glycolic acid. Once, maybe twice a week, I will up that and I'll do a 10% version, but I will only do this a maximum of 2 times a week because this can be quite drying on my skin. Now, glycolic acid works differently to a BHA. A glycolic acid will work on the surface of your skin, and so it's really good for wrinkles, for discoloration, and as a chemical exfoliant to get rid of all of those dead cells, and it will reveal some really nice, more youthful skin underneath. Now, I find with Paula's Choice 5% and 10%, I can get a result from that within 2 or 3 days. So I use this every single day. So I really encourage you, if you want to really tone down some of those fine lines and wrinkles, to give AHAs a try. Now, having said that, I also use a BHA, and a BHA I use across here 3, maybe 4 times a week. Now, BHA, like this one that I'm trialing at the moment from Paula's Choice, again, you know, I quite like Paula's Choice. A BHA works differently than an AHA. It is unlike an AHA like this one, which is water soluble, a BHA is oil soluble, which means that it goes deeper into the skin, and it will go into the blackheads, and it will go into your pimples and your blemishes, and it will clear out that oil because it works with oil. It's oil soluble, and it will pull all that out and cleanse blackheads. So BHAs are really good for blemishes, for BHA, for spots and pimples and so on, while AHAs are really more on the surface of the skin. So when you put them in combination, they're really good. I follow that up with a B complex. Now this is from ASAP. It's an Australian brand, and I'm currently trialing a couple of their serums. Now this is a B complex is really good for building collagen in the skin and strengthening it back up and brightening it just a little bit as well. Now this is full of niacinamides, which are really good for the skin, and it's also got hyaluronic acid in it, so it's really gonna draw moisture from the air into your skin, keep it all there, so keep your skin nice and plumped. So I put that on. I also really love vitamin C at the moment. Got a whole thing going with vitamin C, and I'm trialing this ASAP vitamin C serum. And this has got quite a high percentage of vitamin C in it. There's a couple of tips with vitamin C. Vitamin C, once it's absorbed into your skin, won't wash off. But it's a bit of a problem with vitamin C, because when you put it on, if you rub it into your skin, it will literally peel on your skin, and it doesn't talk nicely with moisturizers and stuff afterwards. So when you lay it on your skin, you need to just pat it on to your skin, and it will feel as though it's not sitting in your skin. It will feel as though it's sitting on. Let it sit on your skin and let it get drawn into the skin. And the second tip with vitamin C is to leave it for at least 15 minutes. I prefer to leave mine for around 30 minutes if I've got time, before I put anything else on. And that's again because it doesn't always play nicely with other things. And let me tell you, I've tried a whole bunch of different vitamin C's from a whole bunch of different brands, and it's the composition of the vitamin C itself that is the issue. It's not necessarily just one single brand. In that 15 to 30 minutes, I'll go off and check my emails, or I'll have breakfast, or I'll brush my teeth, or I'll feed the dog, or whatever it is that I need to do. So that time is not wasted. It's just being used for that vitamin C to really soak into your skin. I also use the Paula's Choice Resist Vitamin C Spot Treatment, and this is 25% vitamin C, so it's really, really full on. But I have a little brown spot just here that I just spot dab that on, and I've got a couple of other pigmentation accelerations which I drop it on, and also I have been putting it on a couple of the big age spots that have come up on my hand, and so far it's fading down really well. So too expensive to use all over your face, of course, and it's a 25%, so you probably wouldn't want to go that strong anyway, but as a spot treatment, fan-flipping-tastic. Once that's done, I'm into prep for the day, and I'm into serums. Now, if I'm going to wear makeup for the day, you know, if I'm not going to work, if I'm going to work, I tend to put on a Laura Mercier tinted moisturiser, and away we go. But if I'm actually doing a full makeup, then I'll probably use the Estee Lauder Perfection Serum. This has got dimethicones in it, so it's like silicone. It will fade out some of these fine lines under your eyes, and fade out wrinkles and so forth. You know, really smooth your skin quite nicely. So I quite like that. As an alternative, I might use the Paula's Choice Resist serum with retinol. I don't use that all that often though, because I use Retin-A at night, so I don't really need a retinol as well, but you know, I'll change it up sometimes. The alternative that I might use is the Resist Super Antioxidant Concentrate Serum for all skin types. Again, it's from Paula's Choice, but I really like this one. I really like Paula's Choice because it's got no fragrance in, it's alcohol free, so it's really good for super sensitive skin. I'll use that. Got a little bit of dimethicones in this as well, so it does a little bit of smoothing, but it's pretty good. The other thing that I never forget either is a serum under my eyes, under here. This is the worst part of my face, I think, and I really don't like my under eye area. So I use the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Eye Serum, and I'll use this morning and night, in fact, and I just pat it on under there. It's really, really lovely. Right, once we've got the serum underway, we're then into the moisturiser. I told you it's a really full-on, quite a few steps in mine. At the moment, I'm trying, as a moisturiser, I'm trying the Advanced Time Zone. Now this is their Estee Lauder's anti-wrinkle cream. I really like Estee Lauder. It suits my skin really well. It's nice and light. It's got a beautiful feathery texture. Sinks in really beautifully. I'm not really sure whether I'm convinced on the anti-wrinkle components that they claim that this has. Can't really see an awful lot of difference between that and a number of other brands that I use that claim the same thing. But it's quite nice. If I want to switch it up a bit, I'll use their Resilience Lift, which is another one of their series, if you like, and this is about firming and lifting the skin, and I actually really like this cream. It has less anti-wrinkle properties, much more about firming and tightening the skin, but it feels a little bit lighter and it sinks in a little bit better for me, I think. If I'm having a bit of a red day where things are not going as well as they should do on my skin, with my skin, then I use this instead. This is the Lancome Hydrozen Nutricalm, and it's less like a cream and it's actually more like a gel. You can see how much I love it. I'm hitting the bottom of the jar there. It's very soothing. It's really calming. It's really cooling on the skin, and it really tones down any of the redness that you might have if your skin is slightly irritated. One thing that I will let you know about with this is, while it's absolutely beautiful and sinks in like a dream, it's actually not very hydrating. So if I'm going to use that just to calm my skin down a little, which I might need to do if I've done perhaps a 10% AHA the day before, I need to follow it up with another moisturiser as well. It's just not moisturising enough. If I really need a heavy moisturising day, then I'll use the L'Oreal Age Perfecting Cell Renewal Cream. This, I don't use this as often as I would use my Estee Lauder cream, simply because it's actually really heavy, and if anything I think this would be more suited to a night cream rather than a day cream for me. Really heavy, sinks in beautifully of course, but it's super hydrating, and I tend to feel that this leaves a little bit of a residue on my skin, so I only use it on those days when I need super hydration. For eye cream, I tend to do an awful lot of eye cream around here because this, if I don't, this area under my eye gets really crepey and fine line and gucky, and I'm really loving the Estee Lauder Resilience Lift. Absolutely fantastic little eye cream to dab in there, really nice and light. And the other one that I'm really liking is the Lancome Genifique You. Not quite sure how you pronounce that. So I'm testing both of those at the moment, and I really like them. And the last thing, of course, super important, should never ever be without, and that is your sunscreen. Even if you've got sunscreen in your foundation or in your tinted moisturiser or whatever else it is that you're using, just put another sunscreen on just in case. I'm currently using the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. It's a broad spectrum SPF of 15. It's only 15. And my tinted moisturiser from Laura Mercier is a 20. So whilst this is only a 15, that Laura Mercier tinted moisturiser is actually a 20. So I'm going out into the day with an SPF of 20 coverage anyway. So I'm actually currently looking at different sunscreens to see if there's one that's light on my skin, that sinks in really beautifully, but that gives me a higher rating than SPF 15. I don't know about you, but I find sunscreens, I hate sunscreens on my skin. I've tried several and I hate the oily residue that they leave. This one doesn't leave an oily residue. It's tinted. It's really nice actually. I'm just disappointed that it's only an SPF 15. Okay, so that's the morning routine. What I'm going to do shortly is do an evening routine for you so that you can see how I put all those together as well. I'd really love to hear about your morning skin routine as well. So please Post a couple of comments down there. Post a comment down there and let me know what's your favourite product, what's your favourite skincare, cleanser, toner, moisturiser, serums. Let me know if there's anything that you think I should try as well. Looking forward to reading your comments. Don't forget to share, hit that subscribe button down there, and also give me a thumbs up. Love having you with me. Thanks so much. It's bye from me.